Welcome back, everyone, to Ferris Sports Update. Time to talk men's and women's cross country. And with us now, the head coach of the Bulldogs, Steve Picucci. And Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Rob. It's always great to be here.
Your team took part in the GLIAC Championships this past weekend, located in Linwood, hosted by Northwood University. Just talk about the day, the weather conditions, and how that meet went.
Yeah, I was over in Linwood at a golf course, so the course conditions were pretty good. Surprisingly, the course withstood the water really well. So I was surprised it wasn't as soft as I was thinking it was going to be. But weather-wise, we got lucky too. It didn't actually rain on race day. We got pretty wet the day before running the course. But overall, went pretty well as far as conditions go.
The women's team earned runner-up honors. The men's team came in fourth in a competitive field on both sides. A number of nationally, regionally ranked teams from the GLIAC, and all those teams really they're battling each other. Yeah,
it was really tough battle on both sides. On the women's side first, we really have one of the defending powerhouses in Grand Valley. So that really kind of makes it a tough go right from the beginning. So like I said, it's really a challenge on our girls. We have plenty of ranked teams in the nation in our women's race in the GLIAC. But overall, like I said, went pretty well. The girls raced hard and got out there and raced actually, so that was great.
As we go to the highlights of the women's competition, a huge turnout of fans and supporters, and just talk about being able to run in that type of an environment with that many people on hand.
Yeah, it was great to see all the fans out there. I mean, there was tons of Ferris Red out there, so it was really great. And like I said, the girls, the girls really enjoy it when the people come out and support us. So it was nice. Like I said, it's a tough event for them anyway, so it's always great to have support. But it was really good to see that big of a turnout for us, 2 hours away from campus.
Bulldogs in the bright red uniforms. Samantha Johnson leading the way for Ferris Day with a fourth place finish. Earned first team all GLIAC honors. Talk about her performance.
Yeah, she did a great job of just kind of staying out of trouble early in the race, and then kind of biding her time, and then just kind of slowly working her way up. And had a real strong race. I think there's definitely more there for Sam. She just, like I said, just kind of ran a good tactical race and really put herself in a position. First team all conference and one of the toughest conferences in the country. So,
who were some of the other key performers and key contributors on the women's side to help lead to that second place finish?
Well, Alyssa Osika, one of our seniors, she stepped up and was eighth this year in the conference. So that was big for her, coming back as a senior and really earning all conference honors again. So she did well, and then I think. Some of the other girls that stepped up. Christy Lesage was a she's a sophomore, so she had a big race. 16th, just missed all conference, and then Brittany Anderson, one of our juniors, she was the next girl in, and then Jordan McGuire was another senior, came in for fifth. So it's a really good strong group of younger and senior girls.
With the performances your team has had over the past few years, being able to get to the national championships, and how important was that experience going into a conference meet like this?
It helps because, like I said, they understand, these bigger competitions, it's about racing, it's not about time, it's not about, worrying about, your certain little things. You're just going out there and racing and trusting in your training and in your instincts. So having that experience, running in all those regional and league championships before, all those girls kind of been there before, so they weren't overly nervous about it. So it'll help going into, Kenosha in a couple weeks.
On the men's side, the Bulldogs finished fourth, but again, 6-7 ranked teams in the nation's top 30 on the men's side from the GLIAC. And how'd you feel overall about the men's performance and what they were able to accomplish?
Ran pretty well on the guys' side. We didn't really get out there and race like I wanted. I was almost a little too timid with them, race plan wise. So like I said, we need to make some adjustments going into regionals if we want to have a shot to kind of get through. But at the same time, the guys, they did a good job. Like I said, we're one of the toughest conferences, so they really stepped it up and have improved over the last few years. It's just, we're just not quite where we wanted to be after that race. But like I said, I'd rather have a little bit off on this day than at regionals. So, we'll get it together. They didn't run bad. We just didn't run where we wanted.
Senior Tyler Crossman leading the way for the Bulldogs in the GLIAC Championships, and he's a runner that's been around. Certainly has gained some considerable experience over the years.
Yeah, he's done a great job. He always seems to be able to rise to the occasion at these big meets. So. Ran a big PR for him, but at the same time, we were more worried about competing, so he wasn't overly happy with his finish. I don't think any of them were, but I said overall, like I said, it's still very strong. These guys should be really proud of where they've come in the last 4 years. But having leadership up front is really a big help, and a really strong group of guys. Our pack right behind them is really kind of what's pulling us through, taking us to the next level.
Any surprise performances really from either the men's or women's side?
Not really, nothing really kind of out of the ordinary. A lot of those kids have been really training at a high level, so like I said, it's nothing really kind of shocked us. We're really, glad some kids really stepped it up on both sides, but like I said, we're just hoping for take one more step next week or 2 weeks.
I know you've had some big meets throughout the season. How did some of those meets, and what were some of those meets that really helped prepare you for this competition?
Well, the bigger one, one of the bigger ones we go down to is we run at Michigan State in the Spartan Invite, and then we go down to Louisville and run in a big invitational down there. So that kind of gives us a chance to see some really good competition. So we're prepared to run against high caliber schools before we even get to the league championship. So without those two meets, it's really hard for our team to really feel ready, I think, going into these big meets.
Next big meet for the Bulldogs in 2 weeks, November the 3rd, the NCAA Midwest Regional Championships in Kenosha, Wisconsin, as you mentioned. And what are kind of your expectations going into that regional meet, and what needs to happen for the Bulldogs?
Well, like I said, kind of our goal going into that meet is to, obviously get through to the national championships, and I believe, we have a strong shot on both sides. So that's our number one goal, is we want to walk out of there with, 2 more weeks of our season left. But like I said, what we need to do now is just kind of take care of the little things, make a few adjustments, stay focused on our training, and then, like I said, not worry about anybody else, just take care of what we need to take care of, going forward into the race. Women's
team, it seems like, has been a national contender and really a conference contender throughout the last few years, despite the losses of some different individuals to graduation and other reasons. But just talk about how they've consistently stayed near the top of the region.
Yeah, our girls over the last 4 or 5 years has really been able to stay in that top portion of the region. I think just with the the hard work and the consistency we have developed as an overall program. These girls understand that every day when you come into practice, it's we got a job to do, and we're going to do it. So they like to have fun and enjoy it, but at the same time, they're focused and they know what's at stake, and they know how good this program can be, and they understand that, and they're not afraid of the hard work.
On the men's side, the Bulldogs obviously have continued to get better and better and progressed over the last few years. You've been here at Ferris State. What's some of that growth due to on the men's side?
What it's really done is allowed us to really kind of take our time and kind of slowly progress our group up. Let our guys mature, let their training take hold, and really kind of get us up there as a group. So they've kind of come a long way. Especially these guys who are seniors. We struggled 4 years ago, and now we're slowly starting to. We've made those big steps. So, like I said, they got one more step to take, and so I think they're ready. The training's there. They just got to go out there and make it happen, rather than kind of sitting back and letting it happen.
With the weather here in October, you never know what it's going to be like. But what's the focus in terms of preparations for this regional meet in 2 weeks?
A few weeks ago, we went and actually ran the regional course in a race, so that helps us a lot. We know what we're in for. Weather-wise, we just got to be ready for pretty much anything. So the big thing for us is just we've been there before. We know the course. We know what's ahead of us. So just like I said, just take care of what we need to take care of, and we should be ready to go.
Well, best of luck to the Bulldogs November the 3rd as you take part in the NCAA Midwest Regional. Congratulations again on the performance in the GLIAC Championships.
Thanks, Ron.
That's going to do it for another episode of Ferris Sports Update. A reminder, you can follow all the action online at ferrisstatebulldogs.com.